لكم شاي يا شباب قبل ما
بيرجع بعيد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على Muhammad وآل Muhammad. Sorry, we have a few trouble. Inshallah, today our lecture is going to be about the science of energy. I'm going to talk about this type of science from the religious perspective. How Allah Azza wa Jal define energy and where we can find Allah Azza wa Jal inside this type of science. Because there's a misconception of defining Allah. Is he energy or he's not, or he created energy or he didn't create it? Especially with the young generation, always we have this type of enigma that always take us and puzzle us from not knowing who we are or what we are looking for or what we exactly searching for. At the very beginning, like every lecture, I always start how Allah Azza wa Jal created everything from the light of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When he was the first being, Allah Azza wa Jal, he created him. And it's very important because this is what we call it, the singularity of every science. What I mean by singularity, it's a single field that all fields come from it. Everything come from it. If you wanna know anything, you have to go to the main definition. But if we talk today about our science, for example, if you go study physics, you study gravity. When you go inside the classroom, the teacher, he will say, what is gravity? And then he will bring a pen or anything and he will drop it and will say, this is the gravity, right? But if you realize, he never told you what is it exactly. He always say gravity, it's defined by force. But nobody exactly define what is gravity. All science now defined like this. When you go, they tell you, I will tell you the secret of the universe. And then later on you discover it just someone described few forces and few energies by this big definition. We realize how small we are, how little we are. All the science now and those scientists, they use this method to make you think that they know everything. But in reality, the more you ask real deeper question, the more you know that we don't really know anything, almost anything. Even the science of the wireless now. So for example, it been so far like 110 years now been invented by the Italian scientist Marconi. He was the first scientist who invented the wireless devices. Until this moment, many people they debate how this is work exactly, not how they work, how when they embedded the processors when they put all the wireless devices inside. I'm not gonna go deeper into this field, but I'm saying nobody know exactly why this is happening. They know how they change the frequency. They know how where to travel from where to where, or how to make it in a space, or how to make it Earth. What can be interference inside this energy? But no one really know what is the science of wireless. Nobody. The same question I told you about the gravity. You see, there's a huge difference. Just ask any teacher. Tell him what is gravity. I'm just repeating the same question. What is gravity? He will tell you it's a force that it will bring everything on earth, but nobody know what is it exactly. Nobody know what is gravity exactly in reality. Same thing. Religion, alhamdulillah, if we really study it very deeply, we will know Allah Azza wa Jal, He gave us all this definition. And the main definition, I told you, this main light Allah Azza wa Jal created. Type. After this light, if we open the Bible, I told you previously about the first page in the Bible, how He created, in the Bible, Allah Azza wa Jal, He mentioned how He created earth and how He created the sun and the sky inside the Bible. Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran, He gave it different, really deeper meaning. And this is in reality the very beginning of every science on earth. Allah Azza wa Jal in Holy Quran, He said, I created earth and I created the sun, and I told them to come to me, like to come to me, and then they said, we will come to you, and they will come visit Allah. In the Quran, this is what you read. But if you really read it a little deeper, Allah Azza wa Jal, He's not really talking over here in this ayah. Someone else is talking. Someone else is talking in this ayah. Allah Azza wa Jal ordered the earth and the sun to come. Why I'm talking about the earth and the sun, and what is the relationship with the energy? This is where the very beginning, everything began by this point on earth. At the very beginning, Allah Azza wa Jal, in the Holy Quran, He wrote ayah or a whole surah called it Surah Al-Dukhan, the smoke. Surah Al-Dukhan revealed the main concept of existence on earth. Why we have earth now, why we have the sun. Scientists now discovered that everything began by a smoke first, and then this smoke will become very heavy, and then you will have certain energy flipping inside very strongly, and then two stars, they will hit each other, and then everything will be created. This is how Allah Azza wa Jal created our planet. When He told us about this, that He ordered the earth and the sun to come, something happened here. This is why we wear the stones over here. Have you ever asked yourself why Shia specifically like to wear the stones? Have you ever asked why? Many Sunnis and different school of thoughts, they make fun of us. They say we worship those stones. And then when you read the narration, for example, from Imam Ali, they say if you wear a agate stone, aqiq, for example, your prayer will be 70 times better. If you don't really know what's going on with those stones, you'll start making fun of Shia. Yeah, Sunnis are right. Why Shia wearing stones? Or what is those definition of those stones? And if you wear anything like a necklace, same thing, they have those stones, you start making fun of us. Fun of the Shia. But now I will tell you why we wear them. When Allah Azza wa Jal ordered the earth and the sun, when they immediately existed, Allah Azza wa Jal, He know that the test is gonna start on earth. For example, now you have an interview. You have a job interview. How do you go to your interview? Do you wear like just regular casual clothes and then you go to your boss? You just wear a jeans and then a regular shirt, like cut shirt, and then you go there, you do the interview. Do you believe that? What do? You wear your best, right? Your best clothes. You put the best perfume you have. You try to look your best, right? And then you go to make the interview. When Allah Azza wa Jal ordered earth when immediately existed, when earth immediately existed, Allah Azza wa Jal ordered it to come. So earth gonna meet someone very important. What is gonna show? It's gonna show the best valuable things inside, right? Inside earth. I know it's little fun. It's little funny this matter, because when Allah Azza wa Jal looked at things and He created things, everything on earth, everything, the moon, the sun has real consciousness. Even the wind has real consciousness. We have many proofs inside the Quran Al-Kareem. Even now, if you feel everything surrounding you does not interact with you, like for example, if I order now the door to close, will it close? It doesn't close. You will feel it doesn't have a consciousness. But actually every atom has a real conscious inside. They are conscious. They know what's going on. They know your energy. They feel everything around them, surrounding them, because Allah Azza wa Jal ordered them to obey our orders. Same thing earth. Earth is conscious. For example, when we were created on earth, when we were born, earth will talk to us and say, now you are a new member in this earth. I'm just telling you what, not exactly the real translation, but it will tell us, now you're on earth. You'll be resident over here, for example, for certain years. I will give you food, I will give you air to breathe, I will give you all those things. Please return back with a good deeds. I don't want you to be bad, like for example, like those tyrants on my surface. It will talk to you like this. And when we die, it will say same thing. Did you were good to me? Were you good? I mean to Allah Azza wa Jal. Did you use me very good? Did you use everything I give you very good? The earth, because it's conscious. So during when the creation of the earth happening, I told you those two lights inside, they will start acting like flip-flop lights, and then they will start turning before making earth itself. Remember, we have a very big universe. Is it a boring subject? You want me to continue talking about it, or? Okay. We have a very big universe, and then while the smoke over there is transforming now to the creation of earth, now it's creating, Allah Azza wa Jal creating that. Now stones start to appear, and then we are passing. Remember last time we spoke about the stars. We have millions of stars around us, and we have a constellation of stars. We have 72 constellation of stars surrounding Earth. Every time this smoke will turn in different place, because now we start having the sun, and then Earth and all the planets around Earth are just smoke. But this smoke is continuously orbiting Earth. Continuously orbiting the sun, right? Because the sun now is energy, it's given energy. Now Earth is start forming at the same moment. Now it's turning around the sun. Now every time we turn, there's a interaction with certain constellation of stars around us. I'm not sure what's happening also. Anyway, so now we have a constellation of stars, and then this constellation of stars will give a strong effect to the Earth. Every time it's passing by certain constellation of stars, certain surface of Earth will be in direct interaction with this constellation of stars. That's why we have different type of aqiq, for example. Aqiq yani agate stone. That's why we have different type of dur najafi or fayruz, or if you wonder why Allah Azza wa Jal created all those varieties, because each one of them, it took certain energy and then it stored it inside. That's why those stones, they have the same energy like those constellation of stars. So we have, for example, 72 constellation of stars. If each of these stones will reflect the same energy that they have. Okay, now you know a little bit about that. So when Allah Azza wa Jal ordered Earth to come and he's gonna see it, not Allah. Now we're talking about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because this is where the test is going to be. They're gonna meet Rasulullah. So Earth, because it has a conscious, it revealed all the stones from inside the bottom, yani inside her, and then it took them immediately outside. We have a narration that the Sunnis make fun of so much. They make fun of it so much. What this narration that Amir al-Mu'minin said, the first stone that said Ashhadu anna Aliyan waliyullah, immediately when they saw the nur of Amir al-Mu'minin salamullah alayh, because they believed in wilaya, was the agate stone. Was the agate stone. And then they make fun of it. They say how this stone made Ashhadu anna Aliyan waliyullah, because when they were meeting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam Earth, immediately put all the stones up. When the nur of Rasulullah came in, this stone said Ashhadu anna Aliyan waliyullah, because they said the true value of this nur. So wearing those stones or crystals or quartz is very, very important for your body. Some of you, they will say, what is your proof? Do you have a proof? Yes, I have a scientific proof. Now, for example, inside the phone, for example, your phones, your laptop, any electronic device in your home, it does not work without one of these stones. You have a microprocessor. I'm just gonna give you fast. You have a microprocessor. This microprocessor does not give any energy or does not give any processing till you put a certain stone next to it. If you study this in engineering, you have to know that you have to use quartz crystal. They call it oscillators, and then you put it next to the processor, and then it will start give energy free energy to the processor, so it will start making the processing. So your body will need those ones, because we are like a processors, right? We have bodies, we have energies. So when you wear them, it will give you the good energy. This is one of the first things about the science of energy. You see why Allah Azza wa Jal, He ordered you to do this, because He's telling you something very important about the stones. Allah. The second phase. What is the definition mainly? How we can define energy on Allah? This is the dilemma always. This is always the dilemma. Many Muslims, even if you ask them now, what is Allah? They will many of them, they will tell you He is energy, and this is a very big mistake. Allah Azza wa Jal, He's not energy. Many times in my lectures, the only way to know Allah Azza wa Jal is to learn everything. You need to learn everything, and then when you learn it, you know what's inside this, and what's really inside this science. You will say Allah Azza wa Jal does not exist here. He is the one who created it. Because, for example, all the atheists, when they come to us, they will always wanna debate with, for example, with the religious people, with science. In the meanwhile, science is the only proof for the existence of Allah Azza wa Jal. You see, we use science to prove the existence, and they use it to deny this existence, or to say He does not exist. Allah Azza wa Jal, He is not there. There's no God. There's super nature. He is. If you want to believe in something, there's something called energy. There's something called nature. It is controlling all what we have around them. Look how we contradict. For example, now I just told you that Earth has conscious, right? And they deny that. The atheists, they will deny Earth has conscious. But when it comes to the matter of the existence of Allah Azza wa Jal, they will tell you nature has a conscious and it's controlling us. You see, they deny the existence of Allah Azza wa Jal, but at the same time they will tell you nature has a conscious. But they will make fun of us if we say Earth has conscious. The sun has a conscious. Moon has a conscious. You know, they have a consciousness, and they know what they're doing exactly, because they're following the order of Allah Azza wa Jal. So how to know Allah Azza wa Jal? This is where the big question, how to know Him. Knowing the main creator is easy, is very easy, at the same time is very hard, because Iblis is in every detail in our life. Iblis, the devil, is always there. He's always trying to attract us with certain opinions, trying to always make us revolt toward Allah, toward our God. He want us to revolt always, saying, okay, why you keep giving me all those tests? Why you won't put me immediately in heaven? Even though last week I told you we are the reverse of the existence. We were in the void. We were created from void. So we need to pass by all these steps to be there, to be safe. So it is out of love why He created us the same way. So is He energy? No, it's not energy. Allah is not energy. How do we know Him? For example, all the religious people, they will tell you the only way you know Allah Azza wa Jal, God, is through His creation. How do you know Him through His creation? You start asking those questions. How do you know Him? For example, if you look at the sun, some people look at the sun, they say you need to start asking the right questions. Questions are always very important. The way you ask it. If you ask, for example, the sun is big. How big is the sun? For example, why is this like this? Okay, this is a scientific question. But if you wanna know God behind the sun, you need to ask deeper question. Those questions you can find them always from the Quran al-Kareem or from your own fitrah inside you. Type, does this sun has a reflection from something bigger? Why it does exist like this? In the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned many times the sun, and He always in every phrase has a different meaning. For example, one of those meaning, He will tell you that the sun is floating around, orbiting something big in a universe, and then later He will move to something else. Why He does not give you the full idea? Because He wants you to search for it. One time I gave an example for the brain. For example, in 1995, I remember reading an article about artificial intelligence. And there's many scientists, they said, now we are very advanced in science. Now we're very advanced in science. We will create a computer in few years. It will be a supercomputer that we will depend so much on it. It's gonna be smarter than us in 1995. And then a few years later, the Alzheimer start appearing more and more. Many people are getting this sickness. And now it's becoming like many scientists, they want to start research about it because they don't really know what is it exactly, why this is happening. So now they put millions of dollars researching Alzheimer's. While they're doing this research, they discovered many things about the brain we never discovered before. We discovered one brain will equal one of our brain will store information of Google servers, YouTube, how many videos on YouTube and how many picture on Facebook and all those ones. One brain will equal all those servers. One brain will equal all. You see how much will now if you go to Google, you see that it will cost them like $10 billion to build all the servers they have, all this memory they have. One brain will store all those information for free, and it does not have heating inside. It does not have problems of networking or so on. So when Allah Azza wa Jal send a bala, like this bala, make us discover something, unveiling something higher, that actually the brain is much powerful than anyone believed. I start laughing when they say artificial intelligence will start taking over everything, for example driving or so on, but it's gonna take too long to do that. It's gonna start taking too long. But this does not prove that we are better than, one day we're gonna become smarter than God, because artificial intelligence is mainly made by human and made from trial and error. I never heard that our brain is made from trial and error. Have you ever studied, for example, certain cells that they decide something and later on they decide something else? No, actually it's a system. It will never change. Allah created same way, and it will always be like this. So how do we know Allah? We know it from every perspective. For example, looking at the brain, looking at the sun, looking at every creature, looking at for example, your family. You're looking at emotions, defining what is love. 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years now, many people, they give definition for love, and nobody know what is it exactly. Till this moment, nobody know what is it. What is love? Is it attachment? Is it something inside your head? For example, science now define love by you loving yourself. For example, if you love someone in your life, you have someone in your life, your brain will say, okay, this guy will fit everything I dreamed of. So it will release certain hormone inside your blood. I'm not sure if you studied that, but there's a gland under the brain. It will release something inside, so it will make you feel comfortable. Every certain time you see this guy, you will release this hormone inside the blood. You feel comfortable. Now you're addicted to this hormone. So the science say this is love. Who defined this type of hormone to be like this? And why Allah Azza wa Jal put this certain feeling inside your head? Because it is the only thing that you know Allah. Love is the only thing you know Him with. If you study science, the hardest, deepest, you study science, you will never find where is Allah Azza wa Jal inside science. Because He is around everything at the same time. He's not inside it. He's surrounding all the ideas inside, but you'll never find it exactly. What about love? Love, how do you define it? It's the only thing that inside your heart that you will know Allah with. It is the only thing, if you think about it. And Allah Azza wa Jal, look, different than the Bible, different than the Talmud, if you study the Talmud or the one for the Jewish or for different books, He never mentioned love inside, except in the Quran. In the Quran He mentioned love in a few verses, because He know it does exist. He know that's the only way for you to know Him. Why He sent someone to your life you love so much and sometimes it doesn't work out? Why? Some people many people they have a broke heart, right? Many people they have a broke heart. For example, you ask them, they say, "Oh, one time I fell in love with this guy and something happened and it's not working anymore." It's hard. It's heartbroken. Why? Because you will know that the main theme for this earth to have love, to know what is it exactly, but to guide this love toward Allah Azza wa Jal, not for humans. But at the same time, look, it's very important. At the same time, you cannot love Allah Azza wa Jal without loving certain someone here. You see the concept of love and how Allah Azza wa Jal created it. Some people, they say we love Allah, we love God. Same thing like Daesh. They say we love Allah, we love God. If you love God so much, then we have to go kill for him, right? This is wrong love. They say you want to say thanks to Allah. Every single day you do prayers, 17 rak'ah, saying thanks every single day, let's say. And then you wake up in the morning, your mama, for example, give you, let's say, some meal. You'll never say thank you, mama, or never say thank you, dad, or anybody. Did you thank Allah here? No, you didn't thank him. The only way you thank Allah is through thanking the people around you, loving the people around you, and so on. Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, so basically you define love by loving Allah, and by loving Allah you love the creatures, basically, correct?
Yeah, you know how to love. Yeah, yes.
But there's some atheists.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like, there's some atheists that live their lives with their a man and a woman. They love each other. They build a good family, and they just die.
Yeah.
So how the concept of love now here implement itself?
No, because when He created us, He know that we need something in our life, okay, right? It is the duality that always exists. That's why we say the science of energy, the science of love, the science of religion, right? We always have to have a duality. And now you can believe the science here is like a person marrying many women. Sorry to give you this example, but it is like that. This science, it has to be dual with certain science next to it, right? Same thing on earth. You need someone next to you, around you, to always guide you to the right way. For example, men and women, they need each other to form a family. We need this duality, right? Because you having someone inside your, for example, inside your house, always will give you this stability. Will not let you always be eager for certain feelings. For example, your physical feelings. Yeah, emotional feelings. Because if we don't have this duality like now, that's why many people, they have, for example, friendship, or they have a outside love. And this will destroy family and will destroy in general all the culture we live in. Yes. You have more questions?
Yeah, but so my point was, like, even an atheist who doesn't believe in God can still live a love life with a woman, and they can build a happy family. So how does that compare?
Okay. Let's talk about an atheist who fell in love with certain woman.
And she
fell in love with the same man, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they fell in love with each other, yani. And two atheists fell in love with each other. Okay. Allah Azza wa Jal in general gave us these feelings. He will not take it back because those people will not believe in Him, right? But He gave you those feelings because this is the only feeling that will bring them both to God. Always, many people, when they're atheists, mainly, I'm not saying it's a general rule, but mainly because they're not married, they never had any kid before. If you study every atheist life, you see him, he's not married, he doesn't have any kids, and he always have problem with Allah in general and with God in general, right? So for example, if they have someone in their life, and then his wife is now giving birth, right? Have you ever watched a birth? Have you ever witnessed a birth? How a woman give a birth inside the hospital? You should really watch it, because I'm not saying it's for some people they will be disgusted, but in reality this is the real miracle that will show you the appreciation of how we should appreciate God. It is one of the things that will show you how it's given life. You see, many people that were used to be atheists, and you can read about this in articles, when they witness this from their partners or from their wives, when they see it, they really believe in God after that, because it's very complicated things mixed with emotion, mixed with pain, mixed with prayers at the same time, because you see someone suffering so much and science cannot do anything, even though if they have if they give them pills, even if they give them the all those noodles needles, pain needles, whatever they give them. I'm not talking about food now. No. Or whatever they give them, they will still feel pain. They still feel the pain. So they cannot control it, right? Science does not control those things. So who's controlling those ones? So some people, they really immediate emotion, because of the emotions, they immediately start praying. And this is how they will know Allah. So God, when He ordered humanity to fall in love and to really marry each other's men and women, and to know each other's and so on, because He have a plan for us. Because atheism started, always there's atheism. If you study history, there is always, but they used to be very limited. Now they're very widespread. Why? Because there is no duality anymore. You see always a single mother, for example. She's raising 2 kids or 3 kids, and each kid from a father. You see, like American society or European society. You have, for example, family. They have 3 kids, 1 Chinese, 1 black, and 1 Japanese, maybe, right? Each one different father. So those people, they always have a problem with God. They say we have no emotions. He created us like why He created us in any way. We didn't accept, so on. I don't like my the way I look. Why He created me like a man? He need a woman, or a woman like a. You see, they always have those problems. Because what? Because there's no duality. So if we follow the way Allah Azza wa Jal created us, we should always find the solutions. Did I answer your question? Yeah. Any questions? No? Any question, guys? No? You? So, let's talk more about the energy. So going back to the energy. The time. Okay, so because of time now we need. Before concluding, I just want to talk about, because I promised someone, I want to talk about Hadith al-Kisa. Hadith al-Kisa in English. What is exactly Hadith al-Kisa? What is exactly Hadith? One time I mentioned Hadith al-Kisa is the most important Hadith for Shia. Most important Hadith, because basically it's telling us how Allah Azza wa Jal created everything. Inside the Hadith al-Kisa, there's many details. And previously I mentioned them. I'm gonna mention them now. Very fast. First, Sayyidah Zahra, she was in her house. One of the narrations said that Sayyidah Zahra, she was in her house, and then Rasulullah came inside the house. After that, Imam Hassan. After that, Imam Hussein. After that, Imam Ali. Right? And then Sayyidah Zahra, she joined together. They joined, and I showed you the sacred geometry, how it was created. Like, in the second narration, that Rasulullah, his wife came in, called Salama. She told him when Rasulullah said He created, Allah Azza wa Jal created everything for us. Salama, she came in and she said, He created it for us too. He said, no, but you are safe. You are with us, you are safe. You are the follower of Amir al-Mu'minin Salamullah alayhi. Some Muslims, they got confused between those 2 narrations. Hadith al-Kisa did not happen only one time. It happened few times at the same time. Not at the same time, like few occasions. The confusion came in from those 2 hadiths. First, when we read Hadith al-Kisa normal, there's no Salama. Second hadith, there is Salama. This hadith happened few times. Why? Because they're telling us, Ahlul Bayt, that mainly there are the sacred geometry, right? They have their own pie. Inshallah, in the future I will talk about the secret of the pie. What is exactly the secret? Remember when I told you all the Quran inside Qul Huwallahu Ahad? No, all the Quran inside Surah Al-Fatiha, all Surah Al-Fatiha inside Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is inside the Ba, and Amir al-Mu'minin is that dot under the Ba. It's a little confusing, but it's fascinating if you think about it. It is fascinating. He's telling us basically each one of you have orbit inside. Each one of you have his own pie. when you orbit something yourself, something will come halal for you, and something some of them will be haram for you. We have so hadith al-kisa, now it's orbiting, for example, Ahl al-Bayt. Sometimes hadith al-kisa is orbiting us, or sometimes we are orbiting hadith al-kisa. Inshallah, in the future we will talk about all those type of orbiting. What is it? What does it mean exactly, orbiting things? Because that will give a real definition for our religion and how we need to follow. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.